All right, we are live. It's the Podcasting Dead talking about episode 4 of The Last of Us. I'm Justin, and welcome to the channel. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Helps a growing channel to get all its vitamins and nutrients so that we can grow. Joining me is the one and only Seth, aka the Appalachian American, and then we've got Maddie Dubs down at the bottom. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
Like we're live, but I'm dead inside this weekend. It's been a very enduring weekend.
That was one of the Podcasting Dead slogans me and JP came up for the t-shirt that says The Walking Dead, alive online but dead inside or something like that.
Nice.
Oh, but yeah, I was about 20 minutes late to the episode, which I set this podcast to start at 10:35 because I saw that the episode runtime was supposed to be like an hour and 30 minutes, and then it turned out to be less than an hour. So here we are. So, gentlemen, as we get into it, what did you think of the episode?
It was okay.
I had to put my phone away because I got bored and wanted to scroll.
That is the struggle sometimes. I found myself doing that the last 2 seasons of The Walking Dead.
I had to put it away and focus.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, which I woke up from a nap, so I didn't know if it was just being tired from the nap or the episode, but I'm guessing now it was just the episode. I thought, realistically, it was a good episode, but at the same time, it's probably my least favorite that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I agree.
Matt, what were your thoughts?
Same. It just wasn't as good as the prior 3 episodes.
It was a lot of good stuff.
And I don't know, I don't know the callbacks to the game like you guys do, so I don't know if there was any good notable callbacks if you guys want to mention them.
It was a couple. Ellie shooting the guy in the game, it was a little different. I think that was supposed to be the scene in the game where Joel's underwater and the dude's strangle him, and then Ellie shoots the guy, which it wasn't quite as impactful in the show because in the game she shoots the guy and she's like, "Oh my God, I shot the hell out of that guy," and then she starts kind of getting sick and Joel fusses at her because in the game, I feel like in the show they're moving it along a little bit further with their growth, whereas in the game, he fussed at her and scolded her and was like, "You should have just hung back like I told you," or something like that. Whereas in this one, they seem to be getting along pretty good, but so that was a shout out to the game. And then what was it? There was another part that was a shout out to the game. Oh, the guy pretending to be hurt when Joel's like, they didn't say the line that I was looking for though, where Joel's like, he ain't even hurt. And then they gun it. But,
why would you run towards the guy?
What do you mean?
Well, if I saw somebody, in the street, I don't think I would go that way.
Probably not. I mean, you got a moving vehicle, I guess, you're right, because, he speaks on it as if he's been in that situation before and done that, and then run straight to him, and they've got a whole platoon waiting for him to shoot at him. But I like in this, we're getting the hints that Joel's not the squeaky clean good guy in the sense where she's like, "Have you killed innocent people?" And Joel's just like, "We need to keep moving." We know Joel's done some messed up stuff, which is good. We should be getting that because Joel isn't the innocent, clean hero that you typically get in these stories.
I bet he never returned his shopping cart to the corral.
You think Joel seems like the kind of lazy guy that's somebody else will get it?
I don't think so. I think Joel would be thoughtful. He would be the one to take it back.
I'm with Seth. I think Joel would be the kind to be like, "Let me return this here shopping cart."
Listen, Ellie, I've done some messed up things in my day.
I've left a shopping cart here or there. But we did hear them mentioning Henry and Sam, and when we see them at the end of the episode, what is that girl from? What is she?
I had to look it up. I found it.
I know I've seen her. Who is it?
You want to take a guess? I found it.
I have no idea.
Hilarious.
No, I know that she was in Sweet Home Alabama.
She was in 2.5 Men. She was the annoying neighbor.
That's the one that was obsessed with Charlie Sheen, right?
Rose.
Yep, that's where it was. That's where it was. My fiance was like, she's the one that gave birth in the bar on Sweet Home Alabama and this and that. It's like, that's not where I know her from. So she was the one obsessed with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. Her name's Melanie Linsky.
And so what was bulging from the floor? Is that supposed to be a bloater?
I think so. The building that they were in, if you looked at the color scheme, it was the like the hotel. Remember the hotel, like when they go in through, I think they showed clips of it. They've got this kind of out of order because remember when they were walking through the hotel lobby in like episode 2 with Tess?
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen until later. Like that was in Pittsburgh.
Right.
But now it's in Kansas City, which is odd. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, just moving stuff around. Yeah. I saw the floor bulging, and I was like, all right, that's got to be a bloater trying to come through. We got to see a bloater. Matt's never seen a bloater.
In my comments that I wrote down, I was a little bummed that they took out Pittsburgh because I thought they were going to just skip over the Henry and Sam like storyline subplot.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I went through, I was like, oh, okay, so I guess we're getting it. But like now, Henry's like a fugitive.
Yeah.
So don't like spoiling, but are they baddies or goodies?
Sam and Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I don't want to spoil it for you. What do you think they are?
I like to believe they're goodies and they're going to live happily ever after this episode.
I like to think they're fairly good people. They might have left a shopping cart or two back in their day.
They've learned from their ways, though.
That's going to be my standard question. Remember in The Walking Dead, Rick had his 3 questions he'd ask people before they joined. Mine's going to be like, how many people have you killed? Have you ever left a shopping cart in a parking lot?
Yeah.
Sorry. Jay Scarf says, I didn't like that girl. I thought she should have shown more emotion when she saw those 2 guys dead. I just didn't understand her in general. How hard would that be to shoot the doctor that delivered you? Like, the way she just walked back to the container and was like, open it, and then shot him. I was like, dang, that guy like gave you life.
Yeah, like she at least had some like sort of badass thing to say, like, I know you brought me into this world, but I'm here to take you out of it. Would that not be badass?
That would have been a great line. I know you brought me into this world, but I'm here to take you out of it. No.
No. So it's not supposed to go like this.
Yeah, I like I said, I did not like the episode. I mean, it was good, but with that said, it was short. I didn't feel like
short, not.
I didn't feel like too much happened. Not bad, but probably not my favorite that we've had so far. Which after last week's love story, it's a little hard to follow up on, I guess. Seth as a player of the game, isn't it cool to see Ellie with a Beretta, which is like what she carried in the game, or really hardcore in the second one? But I'm guessing she's using a cheetah in this one, not like your standard 92. It's like a compact size.
I enjoyed seeing her, and I was watching her hands while she was holding it, and I was thinking like, this is probably how a untrained individual would handle a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say she had pretty good trigger discipline from what I saw. She kept her finger off the thing until Joel had to correct her. It's like when she was in that bathroom messing with it, like pointing it at the mirror and stuff. She kept her finger off the trigger, and I was pretty impressed with that.
Well, it's like I told my fiance when Joel was telling her, like, you're left, like, with like good kudos, because a lot of times in shows they do not hold guns accurately, or that they do not instruct accurately. So telling her to use that left hand to grip down on the right hand, because when you shoot a pistol, actually most of the control comes from your non-dominant hand. This hand is responsible for locking it in. A lot of people try to squeeze this one, but actually this is the hand that does most of the controlling. So I thought that I was, as someone who shoots a lot, I thought that I was pretty impressed with that. And then the way he grabbed the gun, like when you got a good grip on it, they'll do that in those. If you ever take any of those like tactical classes, they'll do that. You'll lock it in and they'll come around and grab it and see how much it wiggles up and down when you have it. And if it wiggles, then you don't have a good grip. So I was pretty impressed with the accuracy on that. And she will be impressed on her accuracy with her new grip. Let's see. I feel like her character could have been way better. It's still time. If you're are you talking about the 2.5 Men girl?
Kathleen.
I feel like it could get better. I couldn't help but get like Fear the Walking Dead. What's her flared nostril name? What's that girl?
Virginia.
She's in The Boys too.
Yeah, I couldn't help but get Virginia vibes, which I was not a fan of her character on that show at all.
God, no.
Like, did not understand the point of her whatsoever, like why they existed. But I was kind of getting Virginia vibes, and I hope they don't go that route. But Matt, I always got to ask you, since there's a fourth person who's not on the podcast, what'd your wife think of the episode?
With her grandpa, I don't think she was all that invested in it tonight. That's a whole nother story. I don't think she can enjoy it with all that stuff going on.
Well, y'all have been at Duke all day, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I understand. I'm sure I wouldn't be into it either. David One Buzz says hello. I thought it was a very good episode. However, it's the best zombie show without any zombies.
Right?
That's pretty impressive.
There was no infected.
I watched a review, like a spoiler-free review of season 1 before it started. One of those channels, I guess, that's lucky enough that the HBO let them watch it beforehand. And they said they gave it like a 9 point. They gave the whole season a 9.5 out of 10. They said their biggest complaint was the lack of infected, that it's a zombie show without many zombies. So I think that's probably going to be an ongoing thing. We need more infected, which we got them. I guess that French kiss with Tess was a little bit.
That reeled back a little bit.
They were like, we just watched a zombie make out with a human. We're going to back off on the infected. Oh man, but yeah. One thing I will say that I did like though, and Seth, you've probably seen this in the game, like when you injure an enemy and they'll start like talking to you, like to begging you not to kill them.
That was something I noticed in the second one, like The Last of Us Part 2, the second one.
I noticed that with this guy Brian. That reminded me a lot of the game, of how he was begging for his life and the negotiating and yada yada yada. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm still impressed with how much they tried to pull off the game. Even like we've talked about it before, but when he like boosted her up to get through the door to unlock it for him, that felt very Last of Us game-ish. So I do appreciate the attention to detail that they put into the show. I think they do a good job on that.
How did you feel about them camping out? Like,
my wife did ask that. Like, why did they sleep in the truck? Like, so they'd like be enclosed. I don't know. Makes more comfortable on the ground. I don't know.
I mean, I'm 100% in agreement with you guys, but if I had to give it one thing, maybe Joel's tall. Maybe it was so he could stretch out and get. I mean, I've slept in a truck before, and
it's miserable.
Matt's been in my truck. My truck is humongous. The inside of mine is half the size of my house. But
it pretty much is. That's just the middle seat.
But even still, it's not comfortable to sleep in it. So if I have to give it any kind of,
thought, they have a truck bed. You could have slept back there. My point
take all their shit off the bed though.
There was no preparation for like towards the end he was dropping the glass to try to make some kind of something to alert them. There was no setting up a perimeter, like at least in The Walking Dead they set up the cans and the string around the perimeter.
Yep.
So there was nothing to like alert anyone.
What's bad is I've even done the string and can trip trick like camping myself when there aren't zombies in the real world, just in case any coyotes or anything come close to camp, just to alert you. So no, I agree. Like in the world of the Last of Us, I would not be sleeping out on the open ground without something to give me some kind of warning, like, hey, something's coming. Which is funny because The Walking Dead, you can set your perimeter up close to camp because the zombies are so freaking slow that you hear 20 yards away, you're like, okay, we have 10 minutes to kill this walker.
Yeah, that's what's
God,
like,
you
let's
would need
snooze for like 10 more minutes.
You have to put it like 100 yards out in the Last of Us world.
Yeah, and I did like that he was very cautious about starting a fire because it would attract like raiders and people.
Yep. Jay Scarf says probably not enough space in the truck. Very risky sleeping outside though.
S10s, man, they get a little bit of room. I've slept in an S10 before.
You never have as much room as you do when you're in a Ford F-150.
Yeah, probably
my
not.
F-150, man, it's on Matt's road in the back. We've had 4 grown men in the back of my truck, back seat, very comfortable. Like, it's ridiculous how much room I have in the back seat of my truck.
Yeah, and we all felt comfortably.
Jay Scarf, they probably trying to get time. Here's another comment though. He says very risky, even though there's no zombies in this show. So apparently that's a common complaint with this show is not enough zombies.
Well, I mean, from a standpoint of production, it costs a lot for that makeup.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, The Walking Dead got to the point where you could tell some of the zombies were just masks with like a little bit of touch-up makeup just to be seen for like a second or two. You're right. I mean, The Last of Us zombies are very detailed in the makeup department. So yeah, that's a good point. We want Tommy. We want Tommy. I do too. I think you're going to get a lot more Tommy. Uh-oh, what happened to Matt? He's too far.
Probably his internet crashed.
He's too far from his router, man. Like his router's on the complete opposite end of the house.
He needs a hardwire or cut his camera feed. Oh,
he'll be back. Mike Myers says hello. Look, Matt might be back. Oh, wait, there he is.
It just dropped out for a second.
It's because your router's on the other side of the house. Your computer's like, I'm trying so hard. I'm holding on as tight as I can.
I think it did just have a momentary, like, completely drop out.
Mine. So I have to reset my router like once a week. I mean, Xfinity's got great internet, but it does drop out. Yeah, I'm with Jay Scarf. I do want some Tommy, primarily because of all the characters. He sounds the most like his video game counterpart.
Well, if you like the video game counterpart, you saw him tonight.
Ooh, do tell. Who was he?
Kathleen's long-haired buddy.
With the gray hair?
Yep.
And the one that saw the ground moving up?
That was Jeffrey Pierce.
That's the guy that voiced Tommy in the game?
The voice actor and performance capture artist for Joel's brother Tommy.
That is so cool. That is so cool. That's awesome. I had never looked up who he was. I know that Troy Baker is going to be in this season somewhere. I think he's going to be one of the cannibals, I think. But that's cool.
Yep.
That's really so that guy voices Tommy.
Yep.
That's so awesome.
Screen Rant, which they're pretty reliable.
I love it. I love the cameos from the voice actors. I love it. I love the attention to detail in this show. And even though I'm sitting here saying this episode's probably my least favorite, with that said, I mean, it's still from 1 to 4 been a solid show. I appreciate the attention to detail. A buddy of mine was down from halfway to you, Seth. He lives halfway between you and I, and he come down today and was talking. He's a huge fan of the games, and he was talking about how much he likes the show because, like he said, he was watching these. Every episode he'll watch it, and they'll get in some dialogue, and he's like, "That's straight from the game." And then like they'll say another line, and he's like, "They lifted this right off the game."
Oh yeah, the conversation in the truck with the
magazine. Yeah. Why? How does he walk around with it? What does she say? He's like, "I want to see what all the fuss is about." We were talking about that.
What did she say about, yeah?
And she was like, why are the pages all stuck together?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, man. I just it is interesting to consider that season 2 they're saying is going to be lifted from the second game, which is I don't know. Maybe I'll feel differently by the end of the season, but I feel like honestly you should have at least given it like 2 seasons before you moved on to the second game with your storytelling. I feel, but I don't know. We'll wait and see at the end of the season how I feel about it.
Yeah.
OMG, the magazine scene. Michael Myers says hello. Hello, Michael Myers.
Hello.
Hello. But yeah, let us know in the comments what's your thoughts on the episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Like I said, I thought it was good. It's just probably my least favorite of the 4 we've gotten so far.
I think I like this one more than I like last week's.
Well,
last week's was great.
Last week saved lives, okay?
Saved lives.
Yeah, it's touted as being life-changing and life-saving. It saved lives to see that romance.
It did.
I don't know that I would say it saved lives. I would say that it was a good episode, and I really
saved
enjoyed
my
it.
marriage.
It was stunning and brave.
I thought it was very depressing, but
dude, I'm sad that I might not be on here next week.
Oh, wait a minute. So next week we get the episode on Friday night? Dang, man. Seth's going to be out of town. Matt's going to be busy having a baby.
We'll just bump that to next week.
He's giving birth. Matt is having a baby.
Yeah, currently 9 months pregnant.
We're pregnant.
We do Boys and Beer every Friday, and we have something we could watch this Friday, Matt, and you're going to be unavailable.
I might be able to swing out of here for a minute while they're sleeping.
Oh, dude, no. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're going to go to leave, and your wife's going to be like, where the do you think you're going?
It'll be like Justin's demon voice.
Yeah, like Matt's going to be tiptoeing out the house, and his wife's just going to be like, where the do you think you're going, Matt?
Get your ass back here.
Baby's going to be like get back in here, Matt. Matt's like,
hey Siri, help.
Look, the first Friday, it's like we could do a Friday night live stream and actually go to bed at a good time on Sunday, and it's not the
stars have aligned, but they have let me down.
Are those guys confirmed dead? What guys are you talking about?
Probably Frank and Bill.
Ron Swanson and his man. Yeah, like they're gone.
Did we see it? Did we confirm it?
We never see it. And anything you see off camera or anything you don't see off camera, did it really happen?
I agree, but even if they were alive at this point, I don't feel like they'd be any use to the story because they're both like 100 years old. Apparently,
they're all aged.
Apparently, they aged up more in 20 years than most people do in 100.
We didn't see the bodies of. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
That's true. Maybe Joel will get in a pickle and it'll be like, I got you, Joel.
Yeah. He'll come rolling in a wheelchair.
Come on, Bill. Frank's like, I got you, Bill.
They like hate each other and just gripe the whole time.
They see me rolling. He comes in sideways on the wheelchair with a shotgun.
Most of them in Rascals.
I haven't seen that show that Frank was on, the White Lotus. Have y'all seen that?
No.
They talk about it like it was really good, but I've never even heard of it until the behind the scenes stuff. If you haven't had a chance, I don't really care much for Jimmy Kimmel, but if you have a chance, you should definitely look up Nick Offerman's interview with Jimmy Kimmel this week. It was, I think, this past Wednesday, talking about the episode. That was actually really enjoyable. Nick Offerman said the last video game he played was Banjo-Kazooie. Which was an awesome game. I've given many hours of my life to that game, but he said that he had locked himself in a basement and played it for like 2 weeks straight, and then when he finally beat it, he was like, I can never do this again.
I wouldn't want to.
What?
Play Banjo-Kazooie.
Don't talk bad about Banjo-Kazooie, Seth. You can hate on everything else I love. Do not destroy Banjo-Kazooie. I feel like at this point in our relationship, Seth is like, Justin likes that. Hate activated. I feel like I could just be like, you know what? I really like water. It is good for me. And Steph's gonna be like, I hate water.
H2O.
Yeah,
Banjo-Kazooie is awesome. If you disagree,
in my product
you're wrong.
placement mug. Get yours
Not
now.
brought to you by Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, but brought to you by the men's room.
Banjo-Kazooie had more followers.
Probably. But I'm trying.
Do not. You did. I know this is the Last of Us podcast, but you really hated Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really like side scroller games. And I don't.
What do you mean side scrollers? It was 3D. It was on
it's like
in 64. It was just like Mario 64. Same concept. Open world, like you were Banjo-Kazooie.
I only played one time, and I didn't like it.
Well, it wasn't a side scroller. It was a 3D. Like you had.
It wasn't 3D when I played it. I don't know. I played it for all of 5 minutes. Said I don't like it.
I'm very confused because it was on the N64 and that was the first one. So I don't know what side scroller you played.
No, not Banjo-Kazooie. I'm thinking about Crash Bandicoot. Never mind. It's PlayStation.
Oh, so you just jumped to hate something that you've never played.
I did. Well, I got the names confused.
Not the first time.
When did I get them confused before?
I said, no, that's not what I'm saying. I said hating something you haven't played. That's not the first time.
Well, I hate something that I've watched and absorbed all 30 hours of content. Yeah, sure.
30 hours. It only took me 20 hours to beat that game.
Well, I've got 30 hours worth of The Last of Us 2 footage that I didn't like, that I sat through and watched.
So hated Banjo-Kazooie. So you need to, okay. So have you ever played Banjo-Kazooie?
No.
Okay, well, go watch 30 hours of that being played, and then next week tell us what you think about it.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna be really bored. I'm gonna be really bored. Oh, not bored. I'm gonna be really busy because I'm gone.
Yeah, no kidding. How do you hate Crash? Like, my fiance does not play video games, and that's the one video game she loves is Crash Bandicoot. For her birthday, I bought her, one birthday I bought her the Ultimate Collection with all three, and then I bought her the fourth one they put out not long after that.
I've never liked him. I don't like I didn't like Spyro. My wife loves Spyro.
I didn't really care much for Spyro the Dragon either.
Switch. But I don't know. I've never really cared much for them early games. If it ain't like a quest or like RPG kind of deal, turn pace, I really didn't care. Or like Grand Theft Auto.
I'm by myself in that. I hate RPGs. I hate them. Like, honestly, the new God of War video game, honestly, I'm waiting to start liking it. I'm like 5 or 6 hours in, and thus far I give it like a solid 5 out of 10. I'm not enjoying it. Because it's too RPG like.
Oh, I want to play it.
You ain't missing out on much. Story's good.
I might like it.
When you are fighting, it's really fun. But then, what is it, Matt? I spend like
you spend an obscene amount of time on the
just trying to figure out where you're supposed to go.
What the hell they want you to do?
Like,
you must throw the axe in the water.
Yeah.
I'm fucking throwing it in the water.
You'll have a whole ocean and creeks and stuff full of water, and it's like, I think you can freeze the water. Okay, which
water?
Ugh. Let's see. Siren Sorrows. Does any of you guys check out the Dead Space remake? Probably the best remake since the RE1 remake. Pretty much makes the original obsolete. No, but that is on my list of stuff. I've played all the Dead Spaces up to this point.
The only that I've seen of it is a channel called Mauler. He's been playing it like crazy.
Yeah, I enjoy Dead Space. Lego Batman.
That was a fun movie.
Not sure how that relates to tonight's episode, but hey.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Oh, Zach Galifianakis is the Joker. Good times.
Yes, dude. It's so funny.
All right. Well, I guess that is about covers the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I can't think of much.
I got nothing
I'm
else,
sure
really.
there is, but not as much to talk about this episode.
We learned that Joel doesn't return his shopping carts.
I think
Joel does.
Yeah, I'm
No.
with Seth. I think Joel is the type of guy that in the previous time took his shopping cart back. Now, post-apocalyptic Joel, I don't think gives a damn about your
No.
shopping cart, but pre-apocalypse, he seemed like a
He's a
Southern
little
gentleman.
considerate, yeah. I'll give him
But
that.
let's rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 5, starting with Seth.
Well, let's see. I'm thinking about a 3.
That's not bad. Not bad. Matt, what you think?
About a 3 for me.
Not
Last
I'm
week
gonna
was
get-
a solid 5. Last week was a 5. This week was a 3. It was good. Wasn't great. A few funny parts.
I'm gonna give it a 350.
350.
350.
Can
No.
I ask?
No.
Why didn't he just drive up the grassy bank right there when he was like stuck with the traffic jam?
That's what I thought he was gonna do, and he was like, something will be around it in a minute. I thought you're in a truck. I would just go up and around.
Yeah, he could have went right up the grassy like area because they gave you a nice wide shot,
Yeah.
and then you could see like a little bit of a chain link fence, but I mean that ain't slowing down a truck.
We've seen that S10 can go through chain link fences with Bill, so there's no excuse. Jay Scarf gives it a 4, so you give it a 3. You give it a 3. I give it a 350.
Yeah.
Not bad. 3.5 out of 5 ain't bad. I enjoyed it. I think the
save
biggest
lives.
takeaway of this episode is the introduction of Sam and Henry, and I also think that we're starting to see Ellie and Joel grow closer. I think that was kind of the biggest takeaway from this episode. They're starting to get closer because in the same episode he tells her your cargo, and that's it. But they're starting to get along better. So definitely.
I know you brought me into this world, Doc, but I'm taking you out.
Matt, do me a favor. Say that in your give me your most bad A. Like, go for it.
I know you brought me in this world, Doc, but I'm here to take you out.
No.
Bruh, Matt, when will Pope show up? God, I don't know, but it'll be like the next coming of Jesus.
Oh.
What if that dude shows up as a villain in the Last of Us?
Be like, hallelujah, he finally got a good part.
But his name is Hope.
I believe if Pope rolled up, I don't know. I believe I'd just be like,
don't care.
Oh, but yes, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Let's see. Now people are commenting as we're getting ready to wrap the podcast up. That was Pope coming up from the ground.
Right back in.
Cement cannot contain Pope's
We'll
fury.
stay for super chats.
He has his firecracker launcher.
Yeah, somebody send us a super chat, like $1. I'll sell myself for $1. Whatever. Is the super chat button even available?
Let's see. I think I have the stream up. Yep.
It's available. People just aren't sending us super chat.
I mean,
The Walking Dead made us way more money than this show has.
Well, I will say, I feel like the HBO's gone into damage control. Not necessarily that it's damaged, but it just doesn't seem like a lot of talk going on about The Last of Us. I mean, the Screen Rants, the IGNs, all the shills.
It might just be because I like the show or I look up stuff, but every time I get on like Google or Yahoo, it's like the first thing that pops up is someone like they were saying that, what was it? I was reading yesterday that the viewership keeps going up higher than like any show ever, as far as like the way the viewership is going up per episode is like
right. But
unparalleled.
in the small print, you see it's like the highest viewed show on a Sunday. It's in February at 9 kind of deal.
By people wearing blue pants.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's so like we
locked that demographic down.
Exactly. Actually, I'm in gray, but whatever. I mean, I'm
in gray too.
All the articles that I've seen.
Up.
A gentleman never shares his pants color.
But
Matt's wearing blue.
Actually, I'm wearing my black scrub pants today.
All the articles I've seen, I've even shared some with Justin, and I was just like, dude, for God's sakes, like, It's just so they're in such damage control over episode 3 with all the romance stuff.
I personally love that episode.
I mean,
did
that's it.
too.
I don't think it was a bad
It
written
saved
episode.
my marriage.
I just think like the promoting and the after of that was just so like hand-fisted.
I'll agree with you that it's definitely being overhyped. Like, solid episode, I give it a 4.5, 5. It's a very well written, well acted, great episode. But with that said, it's nothing that's not been done before. It's a love story that ends tragically. Like,
Right.
that's been done many
Romeo
times.
and Juliet. I mean, that every
I've
show
never heard
has
of
a Romeo
single
and
movie that
Juliet.
has ever done
Right.
that.
Like, I do agree that they are. It's one thing to be like, that was a good episode, like very good episode. But the way they're overhyping it on everything and acting like it's just it's the best thing that's ever been put to film. It's like, all right, now you're going a little bit far. Like, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Did you see what
It was the best thing that ever came to film on a Sunday night for people wearing blue pants at 9 o'clock. I agree.
I took statistics in college, and it was so funny because the teacher who taught statistics started the class out by telling you how full of bull crap statistics were. He was like, even though I teach statistics, I hate them. They're so bull crap. He was like, let me ask you something. You two, which one of you two do you like chocolate chip cookies? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, 100% of people polled love chocolate chip cookies. Notice how I left out the other 30 of you in the classroom. It's like, why are you teaching statistics?
That's how they get the significance.
I saw the funniest like thing in a comment section. I just sent it to you guys, but I mean, it was something I found just randomly, and I laughed so hard at like the way the conversation went.
Oh, I like that too. Yeah, you soft as Charmin.
No, yeah.
And then I bet you.
Yeah, but the main comment was when they started to get into the episode, he was worried it was going to make somebody angry, and he was glad to see that it was pretty like the way it was. And then he said I cried, my girlfriend cried, and then we spent the rest of the night just being thankful for each other. And it's like,
yeah,
who types that?
Hold me.
And I mean, to not just this show, but I remember when The Walking Dead season 7 premiere came out, and they were asking Norman Reedus or Ross Marquand, one of them, like, what is your advice? And they were like, just watch it and hold someone you love. And I just remember being like, bro, it's a show. Like, it's a show. It's a fictional piece of work. I'm not. So yeah, anytime they do that in a show, I'm like, but a buddy of mine was down today, and he told me he liked the episode. He thought it was a good, solid episode. He gave it a 10 out of 10, said he enjoyed it. He said, but his problem is just that if that was like an independent film, or if it was like kind of a sidebar, kind of like you guys said last week, his biggest deal was like it took away from the bigger story too long. Like, you're just kind of like, where are Joel and Ellie? Like, what?
Yeah, what's this have to do with anything?
I just don't think it was necessary. It could have been a flashback, but I think I would have rather have seen Bill interacting with Ellie more than I would have rather seen 100%. Bill interacting with Frank.
And if you play the games, you know why he's saying that, because if you play the games, Ellie and Bill's interactions are so awesome. Like, you get to see, like, I love when he handcuffs
a man
Ellie.
should interact with a woman and not another man.
Well, I like the way he handcuffs her to the pole, and then she breaks the pole and starts beating him with it. And he's like, I broke my damn shooting arm. Like, no, I can agree.
That Bill from the game, I would have expected to find nudie mags, but the Bill on the show is very out of character for him to have nudie mags.
Oh yeah. Well, he is a little too sophisticated in this one to have had nudie mags. I'm fine with episode 3 as long as they don't rush the rest of the show. Episode 3 was literally a romance film. They couldn't get greenlit for a wide release that they repurposed for the last of the episode, and was clearly award show bait. Well, they've been talking about it too, about Nick Offerman and the other guy getting like Emmy nominations and stuff for it. But I liked it. I thought it was a solid production. It just, like I said, it just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't have any problem with it, but I'm like Seth. It's not that I have a problem with the romance. It's not that I have a problem with guy on guy romance. It's the fact that I would have liked to have gotten the Ellie Bill interaction, them going through town trying to find a car battery and all of that would have been cool.
Yeah.
And then him telling, what does he tell her in the game? He's like, the whole damn town's booby trapped. Y'all want to stay on my ass. And then Ellie's like, you can't miss it. It's like, I missed that. I wish we could have gotten that. That's my biggest beef.
Yeah.
Is that. And the game, Frank's death was way more tragic in the sense of he died hating Bill. Like left Bill a note basically telling him, like, imagine somebody you love, leave it, they kill themselves, or sorry, they unalive themselves. Sorry, YouTube. And you find a note with that person basically telling you to go F yourself. It's like, ew. But still really enjoying the show, though. What do y'all give the show thus far on a scale of 1 to 5? What would you give the show, Seth?
4.
3.5 out of 5.
That's not bad. Matt, what'd you say?
4.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 just because, while I'm not saying it's perfect by any means, because you got to remember, I was a big Resident Evil fan, huge Resident Evil fan. And when they brought out those abomination of movies, it was just a spit in the face to everything Resident Evil. So when I go and start watching a show where they paid very much attention to the game and try to give constant little nods to the game, even if the story's not 100%, it gets them a lot of grace in my point of view, because I'm just not used to seeing, like, look at the Mario movie we got as kids. Remember that? Super Mario Bros.
Greatest movie of all time.
Like, Matt, shut up. Shut up. You know, that movie was just absolute
donkey ass.
Like, it was just a terrible movie. So to get a video game adaptation that's as faithful to the game as this show's been, it gets pretty high praise in my book. But with that said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon, since you cheap bastards ain't giving super chats no more.
I feel the.
We need to start a Pope Comeback Fund.
Don't forget to check us out on Patreon. Also, I wish my camera could. Y'all can't see that. See, I wish I could share my camera to the screen, because on Saturday, JP Slim himself visited my home, and I wish I could show you my security camera footage of JP creeping around my house. He almost got shot. But nice. I mean, he was in full cowboy getup too. Cowboy hat, cowboy boots, skinny jeans.
The old cowboy sheriff was coming to get Justin.
I mean, he was. I wish I could share that with you. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to get it on my computer and show you next week. But
send it to your Facebook
What if
Messenger.
if you do a screen capture of it, then send it to the messenger.
It might work. But we do still talk to JP over on Patreon. We had a Patreon cast with him just on Friday. So don't forget to look up patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
Click that link right there in the chat.
Where's it at? Right here. So you can boom for more of the Podcasting Dead. I'm trying to see. Ooh, I can download that video. Ooh.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, it's downloading fast too. Ooh, how about that?
Hey, if anybody's interested in meeting Ross Marquand, he will be at Big Lick Comic-Con in Northern Virginia, April 15th and 16th, 2023 at the Dulles Expo Center.
I would love to meet Ross Marquand.
I had an opportunity and I missed it.
Let's see. So I just sent that to our Facebook group. Let's see if I can pull it up and play it on my computer real quick, and then we'll sign off with the video of JP creeping around my my porch here.
And if you're in the Roanoke area, Big Lick Comic-Con is this weekend, the February 11th and 12th at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, and you can meet Corey Payton.
I would also love to meet Corey Payton.
If I was going to be in town, I would definitely have him record a promo for the Podcasting Dead.
Here we go. Now imagine you're sitting in your basement and you're playing the Last of Us 2 and doing laundry, and you get a notification that motion's been detected on your carport. You click the video and this is what you see.
Oh yeah, dude. That's funny.
I was like, oh my God, Rip from Yellowstone is coming.
He's
to take
coming
me
to
away
help
to
you
the
up.
ranch.
He's coming to take you to the train station.
He's coming to brand me. I mean, like, so JP got here. He had told me like a day before. He was like, I might be in your town on Saturday. And I was like, well, stop by if you are. And when he pulled up, he saw both my vehicles were there, but my fiance's wasn't. And he had knocked on the door. So he was just creeping around the house to see where I was. But needless to say, I thought a cowpoke was coming after me. But yep. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you miss old JP. Well, he is still around and still alive and still doing his thing. He just really doesn't like YouTube. So he pretty much will only do Patreon casts. So if you still want to catch up with JP, make sure to check us out, patreon.com/thepodcastingdead. If you're new to the channel and you have no clue who JP is, then you definitely need to join Patreon so you can get to know JP. Also, our Walking Dead retro reviews, you get those at least a day or two early there. And if you just listen to the retro reviews with Jesse, those are going to start being only once a week on YouTube, but Patreon's going to get 2 a week. So lots of benefits to Patreon as well. Now everybody's joining in. All right, I'll throw this at you before we sign.
Oh God, you're so good.
So good and tasty. Let's see. Jamie says, I'm from Scotland, but once I met Troy Baker at a Comic-Con here in Glasgow. Oh, that's awesome. He's my favorite voice actor. Him and Laura Bailey are my 2 favorites. Been watching the new show, but I can't until after the show is aired, so it's hard for me to join y'all. Like now, I'm catching up with the episode now. Let's see. The retro reviews are amazing. Thank you.
They are fun. I enjoy them.
Make sure to check those out. And like I said, they're going to go to 1 a week versus 2, and they're going to come out on Saturdays. That is because I want to be able to have time to actually edit them and make the YouTube version of those podcasts a way better product. StreamYard, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, all of that, they'll probably be 2 a week. So you get a little bit of both. But anyways, time to wrap it up because your boy's got to go to bed. 4 o'clock is going to get here early in the morning. For the Podcasting Dead, I am Justin.
Other way.
Where are you? Yeah, there you are.
Oh, me? Okay, I'm the Appalachian American. You can find me over on the men's room every Friday night at 9 p.m.
And there's his link. It's in the comments.
Yeah.
And I'm Matty Dubs. You can find my ass in bed in 5 minutes.
And now let's give Matty Dubs just a few seconds of awkward full screen glory. If you're new to the channel, Matt hates being full screen.
We should all back out and just leave Matt here.
Do it.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye.